Good morning, Ghost Rider Posse. Good morning, Ghost Rider Posse. This is your man, Ghost Rider, coming to you this Friday morning. I'm in Abergavenny, Virginia, at a Food City place. It's 8:02 here. Product I've got is coffee creamer. So my appointment time wasn't until 9. I got here about 7. They've got me in the door, so I'm just waiting on them to make the truck do the freight, the freight dance. But so far, nothing. But hey, I'm in the door. That's what matters, right? Man, y'all. When I say freaking my load prior to this was like, to me, a freaking load from hell. Let me back up. Let's see, Sunday, I made my delivery to Arkansas. Called dispatch because remember, y'all, I was on my way up. I had to get my license plate put on my truck and get my cab, card up to date. So I was trying to get a load to go to bring me into the terminal. Well, they didn't have anything, and I was only like maybe an hour or two at the most from there. So what I did was, because see, at the terminal they have what is called driver lineup, and when you go to the terminal, then driver lineup is in charge of dispatching the loads. If your dispatcher hasn't already found you a load, but driver lineup has they have loads there at the terminal, and then they also can see what's around the terminal that's available. So I called in the driver lineup and I was like, hey, I'm on my way in. It's gonna be like a hot second. I've just got to get my license plate put on my truck, and can you guys start looking for me a load, or if you got one there at the terminal, I'll gladly take it. So they offered me a load that was like 60 miles from there at this poultry place. I'm not gonna name any names. And delivering to where did it deliver to? Auburn, Indiana. Delivering to Auburn, Indiana. Walmart in Auburn, Indiana. There we go. So I was kind of hesitant, just because it just didn't feel right, and I don't know. I've got that. I've been in the business long enough to that when they start reading out the loads and what it pays and whatnot, I get a sense of, okay, do I really want to take that? But they were saying that was the best available load that was coming out of there, and I didn't want to have to wait, because a lot of time, everybody knows with this company, it's funny. It's an old, saying that when you get in the terminal, it's like being in a black hole. It's hard to get out. So I didn't want to fall into that. Even though, not knocking now, while you're there, you're going to be comfortable because they've got everything. And it's so easy to forget that you even a truck driver when you're there. That you're supposed to be on the truck. They make it so comfortable. But I guess that's why it's so, all the creature comforts, every creature comfort you could think of is there at the terminal. But anyway, I was like, I don't know. I said, let me hold off from accepting it, because I didn't want to accept it, because when you go into the terminal, you got to go in and get your truck inspected and inspect the trailer, and if there's anything wrong, then you got to turn the trailer over and then take it over to the trailer maintenance yard and all that stuff. So I didn't want to have that load on me and then get in there and then they find something wrong with the empty trailer that I was bringing in. So I was like, let me hold off. So I get in there, I drive there, and then everything is cool with the trailer. So I was like, man, it's available right now. Let me go ahead and take it. So I took the load. Now, mind you, I was watching the weather, and the weather said that there was a freaking ice storm. It was going to be a freezing rain, and everything was going to ice over. So I was like, okay, I'm only 60 miles away. What do I want to do? I either wait, or I can either go ahead and try to set myself up. So I was like, why wait here? I'd rather go there. That way, if ice storm hits and shuts the roads down, then hey, I'll already be there. So that's what I did. I went and I deadheaded Sunday. I got there about Sunday evening. Plus, I was trying to bank on, well, maybe it's a preload, so maybe they'll have the load ready or whatnot. So I get there Sunday evening. Now the load time on this was 0001 Monday to 0845 Monday morning. Basically 1 past midnight on Monday and 8:45 in the morning. That was their window to get the load preloaded. Mind you, this video may be kind of long, but I'm going to try to rush up and make it quick for you guys. So I get there and I talk to the guard, and the guard's like, this load is not ready yet, but what you can do is go ahead and drop your trailer and wait in the back overnight till they get on it. But no, what they said was, really, yeah, that's what they said, yeah, and then we'll see. I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I said, well, dog, if I'm already got a trailer, I said, well, is there any possibility that I can get this trailer that I've got loaded? Because it was a good trailer, practically brand new. So, and then, you know, I just filled it up full of reefer fuel, so that's another reason why I wanted to keep it, you know. So they were like, yeah, it's a strong possibility, but we'll let you know. So I'm back in the back, cool, thinking, okay, everything is cool, great, yada, yada, yada. And here comes the weather. Boom, the weather hits. And I'm still chilling like, okay, no problem, it's cool. I'm glad I did. So my plan worked out. Yeah, I got there, weather came, I'm already there. I ain't got to worry about driving in it. Cool. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there chilling, watching TV, you know, laying back, relaxing. And I get a knock on my door. It's a guard. And I'm like, okay. I'm thinking, all right, man, my load's ready. No, she comes up. She's like, I just wanted to let you know, sir, that they sent night crew home early because of the ice storm. So there won't be nobody back in until Monday, until tomorrow morning around 8. So when 8 o'clock hits, then you have to go in and see. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? I'm like, wow. Now, mind you, this load has to be in Auburn, Indiana, Wednesday morning at 2 a.m. in the morning. And it's like a 9-hour drive. So I'm like, wow, okay, whatever, I get it. The storm, got everything, the road shut down, yada, yada, yada. So I wake up, I get in, wake up the next day, I get over there about 7, about 8, nobody showed up yet. And I'm like, man, what's going on? So I sent another one of our drivers, and I said, have you heard anything? They're like, well, no, they just told me to come over here, and then if I see somebody walk in office, then go in office and check in. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, man, this is not feeling right. This is not feeling good. It's not feeling good. So then finally somebody shows up by 8:45. So I go in there and check in. I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm here, you know, for my load, you know, yada, yada, yada. He's like, wow, man, we shut down last night and we're so far behind. We don't know when we're going to get to you. I was like, oh my God. I was like, well, is there any way that you can possibly load this load on this trailer that I am? And I gave him the trailer number. He was like, yeah. He said, we just don't know how long it's going to take to get to you, because we've got a skeleton crew and we're behind right now. So I'm like, wow. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, dang, if I can at least make it out by now mind you, this Monday, and it's got to be there 2 o'clock Wednesday morning. I was like, well, at least I can get it back by the evening. I can still make it. So I'm sitting there. Monday night rolls around and I'm still there. Finally, I get a call. I forgot what time, but it was at nighttime. I get a call. Oh, your load's ready. Go ahead and hook up. Now, mind you, before I need to back up. Mind you, before I read up, I always read the Google comments on places I go to. And a couple of them were saying that the doggone shippers have a tendency to overload you, and the weight that they got on the bill of lading is not the right weight that is on the truck. And I was like, OMG. Oh man, no. But I was like, well, maybe that's just a rare occasion. So I get there, and then they've got a scale on site too. I'm trying to, y'all forgive me, I'm trying to do this fast. So, make a long story short, I get loaded, I hook up, I go scale. All it does is give you the gross weight. Boom. But see, on our trucks, we've got this weight right system. I've got a gauge up here and a gauge on the trailer, and it measures the weight, so we don't even have to worry about going to the cat scales, mind you, if everything's calibrated. I know my truck is calibrated, but each trailer should be calibrated. So I look at the weight on the scale, and I'm over doggone 30. My tandems are saying 3,500. I mean 35,000. I'm like, wow, this is not good. And my truck is 33. I'm like, man, this is not good. Overweight. So I slide my tandems there. Still overweight. So I'm like, hey, y'all gonna have to do something because I'm overweight. You know, like, oh, okay, just pull back in the door. So they reworked it. I jump back in the truck. Now, I'm overweight on my drives. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, this is unreal. I was like, look, y'all got to do something. I'm over. So then I'm like, all right, pull back in the door. Second time, getting reworked. I pull out, they reworked it. Now, mind you, this was Monday evening when they're doing all this. Now it's like almost 2, 3 in the morning. So I'm like, man, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, why isn't this weight not getting right? So I'm thinking, well, maybe my trailer's not calibrated. So I was like, okay, let me do this. Where's the nearest cat scale? Man, the nearest cat scale was 45 minutes away. I'm like, golly. So I freaking drive 45 minutes to the TA, which is 45 minutes, get on the cat, and the trailer gauge was correct. I was 35 over. So then I tried to adjust the trailer. Then it had me at 34 on the doggone trailer time, 34 something on the drive time. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I go back, I showed them the cat scale receipts both times that I weighed. And I'm like, y'all got to do something, take some off. How about they say, oh, we can't take nothing off. We'll try and rework it. And I'm like, that don't make, if I'm over, all you're doing is shifting the weight from one area to another. You're not alleviating the problem. So they doggone put me back in the door, rework it. And this time, what I did was to make sure that the trailer gauge is right. When I got off the scale at the TA, I calibrated the trailer gauge to what it was reading, even though it was overweight. That way I would know when I got back that everything was running correct on my end on the truck. So they reworked it. Guess what? Still overweight. So I tell them, like, look, what are y'all gonna do? Well, you're gonna have to wait till day crew come in because we're getting ready to go and we just don't know what else. I said, OMG. So I had to wait for day crew to come in, and then they still refuse to doggone try to fix the product. I'm like, well, we can't take nothing off. Well, we're gonna have to send off an email and give me the copies of those cat scales. It was like, have you tried moving your fifth wheel? I'm like, man, look, I shouldn't have to move my fifth wheel. Because obviously it's something the way y'all stacking or positioning these pallets in my truck that's making me overweight, because I'm under gross weight, so it doesn't make any sense. So, and then mind you now, during this time, I was on the phone with our dispatch, which kudos to our night dispatch, because they was really trying to work with me. We were going through the process elimination and everything. And then we had thought about the fifth wheel, but we're like, man, it ain't even gonna make a difference about you being that much over if you adjusted that fifth wheel or whatnot. So that was out. But so I sat there that morning waiting on them for a freaking email to come back from, I guess, Sam's or Walmart to see what they want to do, if they want to take off products or rework it again. So I was like, you know what, man, I shouldn't have to do this. God dog it. Let me try and do an adjustment on my fifth wheel. Now, mind you, I'm gross underweight, and I've been pulling loads heavier than this and never ever had to adjust my fifth wheel. So I was like, let me just play around. I adjusted my fifth wheel, and it put me at 33 on my drives, 33, barely enough room, all because they refused the way that I had to adjust my fifth wheel because of the way they loaded it. And I wasn't about to go through another rework. So, yeah. So, lo and behold, guess what, y'all? I had to get a reschedule for my drop-off time. And that just threw the whole week off. So, of course, you know how Walmart does, Walmart/Sam's. When they reschedule it, they're not going to reschedule you for the next day, because I could have got it there Wednesday afternoon. But how about they want to reschedule it for the same time, just for the next day, Thursday. So I end up getting there on Thursday, making a delivery, happy to get that load off. And so then they shot me this other load while I was still getting unloaded. And so here I am, here, doggone, in Abergendon, Virginia, waiting on them to start doing a trailer shake. So yeah, all right, y'all. It's 16 minutes. I think it's long enough because it's gonna take forever to load this up. But y'all like, subscribe, share. But yeah, that was my load from hell. And mind you, I will not be accepting another load there, because guess what? The crazy part was I wasn't the only truck having to get reworked. That was the crazy part. So they're known for that. So I will not be going back to them again. All right, y'all? Okay? Until next time, peace out, and keep it moving.